Namaskar. Hello and welcome to PGurus channel. I'm your host Sri Iyer. Joining me today, as always, Shekhar Iyer ji, and we are going to take a quick look at the political happenings in the past few days. Shekhar ji, Namaskar and welcome to PGurus channel. And please like this video, viewers. Namaskar, sir. How are you?
Namaskaram, sir. I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing well, sir. Still getting adjusted to the new time, new place, new everything. Shekhar ji, I have a question for you. We talked in the last session, that was last Saturday, I think. We talked about the fact that they are basically putting down the Brahmastra before even the fight has started, or what we can say, something like a potent weapon. Now that has really fizzled out. What was the intent? Did they get the desired effect? Your thoughts, sir?
Shriyarji, even Brahmastra requires to be released from the bow. But in this case, the Brahmastra was not even taken out from the case, I would say. Because, I mean, I've seen so many no confidence motions in Parliament. But this was, absolutely unusual. I mean, you had an opposition that moved a no confidence motion simply because that's the only way they could get the Prime Minister into the House. We mentioned it, why they would resort to no confidence motion even before they formally announced it. And
Correct.
and a no confidence motion, sir, when the motion is moved by the opposition, a member of the opposition, and then the debate starts. The person moving the opposition, moving the motion, argues why the House has lost confidence in the Prime Minister, and then one member from the opposition, one member from the treasury, I mean, one for the motion, one against the motion. It goes on like any debate. At the end of it, the Prime Minister replies to the debate and says why the House should still have confidence in him. I mean, this is the general thing, and then after that, the person, the leader of the opposition who moved the motion, gets what is called a right of reply. He can say that, look, I don't agree with what you have, the way you have tried to defend your record. I persist with my motion and let it be carried by the House. Then the motion is put to the vote. But here in this case, first it was supposed to be the leader of the opposition, Adhir Ranjan, who was supposed to move the motion. But somehow he was not allowed. They brought in Gaurav Gogoi. In between, we were told it will be Rahul Gandhi who would speak, because that's the way he would make a dramatic entry, following the stay on his conviction, which ensured he got back his membership of the House. But here, what happened? It was Gaurav Gogoi, and through the debate, so many members spoke, both from the opposition and from the government side. And finally, when the Prime Minister was speaking, Rahul Gandhi was away for 1 hour. He spoke for 133 minutes. Rahul Gandhi was not present. Then when he came back, before the Prime Minister concluded, they staged a walkout. They didn't wait to utilize even the right to reply. I mean, and they were not present, because after the right to reply, there should be a vote. So the motion was rejected by voice vote, sir. Now, I am detailing these procedures for our viewers to understand that no confidence in motion is not a toy. I mean, it's not a baby game. I mean, it's a serious thing. Yes, opposition did not have numbers. That was known from the beginning. So nobody expected the opposition vote would be, motion would be carried. But then this was supposed to be the first time the new alliance, the old alliance named as the new I.N.D.I.A was, going to show how strong they have become, how powerful they have become, and how they have marshaled all their facts against this government to show how bad the Prime Minister has been in the last 4 years. So there's such a build-up, and finally, no show. And what did we see? And Rahul Gandhi missed a big opportunity, sir, because this was supposed to be his relaunch. Of course, Prime Minister counted how many times he has been relaunched. Even Amit Shah mentioned, 13 times he has been relaunched. But here, Rahul Gandhi he started out as if he has completely evolved. He's on a spiritual journey. This Bharat Jodo Yatra was, a moment of awakening for him. He was rediscovering India and all that. But then it was all cut short, and then what you saw was all fury and sound and fury. Yes, sir.
Shekharji, I have an observation to make. I think when they said discovery of India, they were trying to, kind of put a dotted line to his great grandfather, right? Great grandfather or grandfather? Great grandfather. That Nehru had written the book Discovery of India. Many people suspect that it was not Nehru who wrote it. He was with some other famous writers in the jail at the same time. Discovery of India is supposed to be letters to his daughters, if I remember correctly. But it is believed that all these people wrote, this guy just put his name. I don't know how true this is, but even that is dubious. The fact that he wrote Discovery of India.
Sir, but this Rahul Gandhi's was sound and fury, and ultimately, I don't want to say it was nothing, but it disappointed everybody, the opposition and the government, which had come heavily prepared. We are talking of one Brahmastra. They had come with all Patriot missiles, literally. and so you had ministers, since they had done the preparation, they had to say everything that they had, they thought that would be the soft belly of the government, and that is how they have to defend. But what we saw was all sound and fury. And sir, there was a point where I was worried about Rahul Gandhi, in the sense he appeared furious, very angry. I mean, okay, it can be a good drama to show how angry you are over a situation in Manipur, but it seemed a bit more, because he was so angry, and that anger probably had to do with his own situation, his predicament, the cases that he is facing, the National Herald case, the state of the party, and the way the alliances just again attempted to take off. And it seems to be he's angry with everything. Though he started off by saying that this was as I said, the big spiritual awakening and things like that. But very soon he was just anger, and in that anger, first he said, "Hindustan ne maar diya Manipur ko," matlab has killed Manipur. Then he realized that yes, probably that statement would not be politically correct, so he changed it, saying, "Bharat Mata ko hatya kar diya gaya hai." I mean, the Mother India has been killed, which is even worse. And sir, very important, after the house, it was removed from house records, reference to Bharat Mata being killed, he repeated it a day after at a press conference on Friday, saying the same thing, and saying that Prime Minister was laughing. Prime Minister was, sir, his whole thing finally, I mean, I'm not getting into that issue of flying kiss, but the fact that it reminded us of that hug that he gave in 2018. This time it was a flying kiss. Of course, some people are disputing it was not a kiss, it was meant for someone. And we had a Congress leader going on a YouTube and saying that he did not give flying kiss to anybody, articulated to people who may think it was directed. There are so many girls chasing him. I mean, it has been taken to ridiculous level. And why there was no preparation? Sir, my point is simple. This was your opportunity. And this is, you say that this is the way, and sir, not only Congress, we didn't see much of a preparation from Trinamool or from even DMK. And all of them talked about Manipur. Sir, this was supposed to be on the entire performance of the government, on economy, on defense, on security. Of course, Manipur, there are several other issues. But they were so stuck on Manipur, they didn't focus on anything. And the most interesting part was Karunanidhi's daughter Kanimozhi. She started reference to Draupadi. She said you should read Salapadigaram, and she went on. And when Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman rejigged everyone's memory, much to the shock of DMK MPs and even to the DMK in Tamil Nadu, look, you are talking about the Vastraharan of the Draupadi. What about the incident of March 25th, 1989 in Tamil Nadu Assembly? When a DMK leader, a DMK minister, who is a very prominent person today in the DMK setup, he is known to have pulled her sari and her hair was pulled.
So, in fact, many people have come up with the name. And see, in Tamil, right, they boast this great language. It's all great. I don't deny that. There is what I call as abharnam, a way of constructing poeticness in Tamil language, where the first letter of each word is the same letter. So, this person, he was called 𝙒𝙗𝙧𝙤𝙬 𝙤𝙬𝙧𝙁.
And Jayalalitha mentioned in detail as to in her interview, that famous interview
With
with
Simi
Simi
Garewal.
she mentioned that. And Nirmala ji took the opportunity to give a complete, total recall of that incident, and how Jayalalitha took a vow that she would not return to the house, and until she became chief minister, and that's how she came back to the house. Of course, just to rejig our memories, that March 25th, 1989, Karunanidhi was, as chief minister of Tamil Nadu, was to present the budget. And Jayalalitha objected to his presentation of the budget as a leader of the opposition, saying that he could not present the budget because there were criminal cases against him. And Tamil Kudimagan, who was the speaker, rejected Jayalalitha and asked Karunanidhi to proceed. At this juncture, when he was about to proceed, somebody from the ADMK side, I think, pushed the bench in front of Karunanidhi, and the Karunanidhi lost his balance. And that provoked the DMK MLAs to attack the ADMKs. And there was bedlam, mics were thrown. And one minister even got a cut, one of the DMK ministers. And Jayalalitha was dragged, her hair was pulled. I mean, it was literally, actually, Draupadi's, yeah. And when it was all over, then Karunanidhi claimed that one ADMK MLA called 𝗤𝙬𝙤𝙬 had, bashed him up on the face and his spectacles broke. But this was the lowest point in Tamil Nadu Assembly. And sir, after this Nirmala's attack on DMK, and particularly bringing reference Jayalalitha, in Tamil Nadu this became viral, and Stalin came out with the statement that such an incident never happened, which is in Tamil they say, I mean, trying to hide a white ash ground in a mound of curd rice.
Sir, also somebody who shall go unnamed, which all of you know, he tore his own shirt to make it look like he was manhandled. This happened in the last session.
Sir, I think, sir, the fact that people have forgot, I mean, people have no longer talking about it. And surprisingly, sir, AIADMK woke up very late. They should have made a big issue of it.
Yes.
Only today I have seen ADMK leaders making some statement. But I do not know why ADMK leaders are afraid. And of course, the local media has been choosing not to highlight this because of the fear of the establishment there. But the point is to make that is the point that the Prime Minister said. Look, what happened in Manipur? That is the point Amit Shah also said particularly. What happened in Manipur was a horrendous thing that has happened. Horrible thing. But to make a politics out of it. And that was, and sir, incidentally, the Prime Minister did not oblige the opposition by talking about only Manipur. In fact, he used the first part of his speech to ridicule the opposition, ridicule the Congress, recalling how he had predicted that they would bring a no trust motion. Then went on to say, and then he talked about Manipur. But when he was talking about Manipur, they were not in the house because they had walked out, saying they couldn't bear the insult anymore. Sir, overall, Prime Minister got his time. I mean, he wanted to utilize the opportunity provided by the no confidence motion to convey whatever political message he wanted to convey, whether you agree with it or not. Now, on the other side, I think the right of reply, if only Rahul Gandhi could have been in the house and utilized the opportunity, look, you have said all this in defense of your government. This is our charge against you. Which goes to show, sir, anger is no, I mean, expression of anger, expression of fury is no answer to a very structured, arguments that you need to show that you have matured as a political leader. Or even the alliance has to show that it has matured to provide an alternative. And that did not
Sir,
happen.
who is to bell the cat? Who is to bell the grand lady that her son is not up to scratch?
Sir, one thing is clear, sir. This parliament wasted the time simply because Rahul had lost his membership. So the message was this house should not function. Though many important bills were passed. And the last day you saw Amit Shah moving a very important bill, which we need a separate hangout to discuss. What are the proposed changes in the Indian Penal Code, in the Criminal Procedure Code, as well as in the Indian Evidences Act? I mean, these are going to, and this will require a lot of deliberation, and I'm sure you will be planning something on this thing. But there are other bills, biodiversity bill, data protection bill, in all of it which the opposition contribution was nil. And when the Supreme Court restored, Supreme Court stayed the conviction and thereby restored his membership, then only, they wanted the house to function. And first we were told Rahul would not speak until the Prime Minister is present. Then he realized the Prime Minister will not oblige him. Then he spoke. And after he spoke, he walked out. I mean, with that, after that episode of flying case, he walked out and he went off to Rajasthan. Sir, this is not the way you can project. And sir, he has been in politics for, as he himself said, from 2004 onwards. And he has completed 19 years in parliament. A person completing 19 years parliament is no greenhorn.
Very true, sir. Very true. Very true. Now let's go to the next question. I have a video to share. I'm going to try and look it up because somebody asked, please share a few words about your new book. Ramani Kritivasan, thank you so much for reminding me. Yes, there is going to be a dedicated video, but I wanted to play a really small song so that you have an idea of what I'm going to say in this book. This is a sequel to my #1 best-selling book, Who Painted My Money White. In that, I had talked about how, this is a video that went viral, millions of views, where I said about, adding water to milk. After 2-3 days, you will realize that the milk is now very, very thin. And you'll catch the milkman and say, okay, listen, either I change the milkman or you change yourself to give me proper milk. And I said that, if fake currency is as good as real milk, then it is very difficult for anyone to catch. So here, when I was digging deeper, I found something even more strange and startling. And I want to show our viewers how these people, really, really messed up India's financial system. If BJP hadn't ruled for 5 or 6 years from 98 to 2004, things would have been in much worse shape. Every time BJP comes in, they bring in fiscal responsibility. They don't allow, bad loans to be issued. And then once it changes, the other side comes back and does it with a vengeance. You are seeing what is happening in Karnataka. So it is really stupid. Like, for example, they said that for women, travel by bus is free. Shekharji, I'm telling you, the southern part of India is so well off right now. They don't need a lot of handouts. They are doing well. Sir, the real estate in Hyderabad, in Bengaluru, and in fact, even in the state is so high. People have made tons of money, sir. So you don't really need these freebies. And yet you are giving it just because, you think that will give you votes again. There is no money in the coffer. Anyway, so I'm going to try and look for that video and I'll play it. But first, let me give you the floor. So while you are answering, I'll go and look for that video. So what is going to be the next move for the opposition? What are they going to do, sir? Because the next time are more people going to drop out, because we already know NCP is sort of out. And I'm curious who's the next one who's going to be out from the coalition.
Well, they are going to again meet end of this month. That is August 31st and September 1st in Mumbai. And people are expecting this whole thing will be to announce Sonia Gandhi may be the chairperson of this new alliance. I mean, an alliance that has been newly named. And I do not know whether Nitish Kumar will get a role, but they are saying it could be a convener or something. But that's not going to make a much difference to what we are seeing, sir. But there is other interesting thing which I would like to share, which has got to do with the way the alliance could be looking in a few days' time from now. Sir, on the last day of Parliament, Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary was suspended till his case was referred to a privileged committee, because he, in his speech in Lok Sabha, he constantly, he referred to Prime Minister as Nirav Modi. Here is the Nirav Modi is sitting here as Prime Minister. That was objected to by the BJP members, and then the Speaker decided that such kind of utterances should not be allowed, and he has been. Now, before that, the Prime Minister was all full of sympathy for Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary, saying that he was not allowed to speak. Amit Shah also said, let the Speaker allot some time from the time given to the BJP so that Adhir Ranjan speaks. Now, Adhir Ranjan is having problem in Congress for a simple reason, because now Sonia Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi think Mamata is their best friend now. Probably before, best friend, certainly not after Kejriwal, but before Kejriwal. So these two are very important people for the Congress now. Now, Adhir Ranjan, the Mamata is imposing a condition that Adhir Ranjan should not be in command. She should immediately be, removed. So he has not been getting that importance. Even the no confidence motion that the Congress had given notice, Mamata was not consulted. So she was very upset. She said, why did Congress go on suo motu? Ensure that Adhir Ranjan was not the person who initiated the debate, lest Mamata gets angry. Now, the fact that Adhir Ranjan has been suspended, people are asking whether the government moved the chair for his suspension to help Adhir Ranjan, because Adhir Ranjan himself has been saying, to his friends, look, I need not have used that expression. But at the same time, people are asking me, is your suspension going to help you hold on to your job as leader of the opposition, and he is the Pradesh Congress Committee chief, that is West Bengal Congress president. Now, is it a way they are trying to help him out? We do not know. But the fact is that Congress is increasingly surrendering to these smaller parties. And that smaller parties includes Mamata, that smaller parties include, and you saw, despite Congress support, the Delhi Services Bill was passed by Parliament. And also, Congress is unsure about what is going to happen to Sharad Pawar. There is a lot of confusion since Sharad Pawar attended that Pune function along with Prime Minister. And then we saw that, other smaller parties. People are wondering, what is the Congress game plan up to? With the Rahul back in Parliament. So it is because the stay of his conviction is not just about his re-entry. It's much more than that. So what is the kind of role he's going to play? And the focus is, of course, these elections coming up in Maharashtra, in Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Chhattisgarh, and Telangana. And in Madhya Pradesh, sir, Kamalnath is already going on a separate track. He is no longer bothered about this Congress, Congress and secularism and all that. He is projecting more and more Hindutva issues, rather a softer kind. But definitely, he has been calling religious leaders who advocate Hindu Rashtra, like Bageshwar, Sarkar. This is a young person who goes by the name of, Bageshwar Sarkar. And he is a young person who has been openly talking of Hindu Rashtra. And when Kamalnath hosted him in his home constituency of Chindwara, when people asked him that, are you supporting Hindu Rashtra? Because this religious leader is known for, this preacher is known for talking about Hindu Rashtra. He said, look, India has 82% Hindus, so what is there? Which means he has realized that he has to, because he is sure of the minority votes in Madhya Pradesh. He is only worried about the Hindu votes. And last time, the elections, he had lost, he could not gain majority because of few seats the Congress did not win. So this time there is a big effort by Kamalnath in Madhya Pradesh to project himself as, totally committed to a brand of Hinduism or a brand of Hindutva. That's one thing. Now, in Rajasthan, the battle is getting tougher. You are seeing both sides, you are seeing are working very hard. And also in Chhattisgarh, now people are realizing that Bhupesh Baghel is not as strong as it was made out earlier. There are serious anti-incumbency issues involving ministers and legislators. So it's not going to be easy affair for Congress. Now in Telangana, we are seeing how the battle is getting murkier and murkier with KCR and Bandi Sanjay Kumar sir in the debate in Parliament. He was unsparing of KCR. I mean, some of it we cannot even repeat. The kind of thing he said inside the house about KCR to show that and he finally concluded by saying a vote for Congress is also a vote for KCR. A vote for KCR is also a vote for Congress. Therefore, we will have to, the people will have to make their choice clear. So this is the kind of scenario we are seeing, which means now from today onwards, it's going to be the battle in the states. These assembly elections are important. So that is the one. This round is the one that will set the tone of the mood for the campaign for the next Lok Sabha elections. And in fact, the Prime Minister on Saturday, he was in Madhya Pradesh, and in fact, he went to lay a memorial for, to launch a memorial for Sant Ravidas. Ravidas, he was a Dalit leader, religious leader, who lived in Varanasi also. There is a memorial for him in Varanasi also, and here also in Sagar. So this is going to be a very, very interesting battle, and we are going to see what is that they can offer this newly named alliance, newly named old alliance. So this is the way it is, sir.
Thank you so much, sir. Now let's take a quick look at the Congress government in Karnataka. DKS is getting the dubious name that he's also taking bribes, seeking bribes, even for those projects that were finished during the BJP reign, where there was time left for them to submit the bills and so on and so forth. So he's now demanding his cut in that. Shekharji, is this unusual? Because this was not done in their time. It was done in the previous administration's time. Would you still want to take a cut for just finishing the final payment?
Sir, this is nobody is surprised by the allegations, because the very people whom the Congress had got them to make the allegation that BJP government is a 40% Sarkara, commission Sarkara. Now those very people are saying, look, our old bills have not been cleared. Now we are told by none other than K Shivakumar that unless you pay 15% of that, whatever is due to you, we will not release your payments. Now this is become serious. Of course, K Shivakumar says, look, this is all trumped up by BJP. BJP is getting some people, some of these contractors. They include BBMP contractors as well as state civil contractors who are making these allegations. And this is not true. And he says, I'm willing to even quit politics if these allegations of contractors, which have been repeated by the former Chief Minister Baswaraj Bommai and R. Ashok, a senior BJP leader, that I'm willing to quit. Now, some of these association members met Sitharaman. Now, Sitharaman says this is all buncombe. In fact, we are now reviewing these projects that were supposed to have been executed. We are getting it reviewed by a retired judge. We will appoint a retired judge to go through it, and then we will make the payments. Which means Sitharaman admits that they have stopped the payments. So that is, everybody is asking question, but what is this? Why there should be an investigation by a retired judge, or is this way of trying to pressurize the contractors to the demands that are supposed to have been made? So already you heard the Janata Dal secular leader H.D. Kumaraswamy saying that these people have fixed a rate list for transfers. He also claimed he has got a pen drive which has recorded a conversation involving a minister demanding a 10 crore for some thing to be completed or to be finalized. So all these things are coming at a time when MLAs have been making allegations that ministers are demanding money from us if we put in a request for anything for our constituency or for promotion or transfer, or someone saying that, look, you are coming with these recommendations because you have made money. So why don't you share that with us? So it's now becoming an open thing. Of course, Sitharaman says this is all malicious accusation. This is all done to. Sir, within the Congress there is a ferment, and the fact that there is no other money. I mean, because of the freebies, there is no money left for any other thing, including maintenance of roads, maintenance of hospitals, which all goes under the under a heading called development expenses. So and Shivkumar has said we don't have money for all these things. At a point that the Prime Minister mentioned in his reply in this debate also, this no confidence debate. Look, we are seeing a very dangerous situation. We are seeing, for sake of elections, all kinds of promises are being made. People are being hoodwinked to vote for a party that is promising heaven, whereas they know that not even earth can be delivered, because those are the constraints in today's governance. Those are the constraints of every state government.
Very true, sir. Very true. I was searching for something and I couldn't get it. No worries. So, viewers, we are now going to go to the last topic. In fact, I think we just finished the last topic. I'm sorry. I have to wind up early today. I beg your pardon for this because I have an early flight to catch tomorrow. And I'm also jet lagged. So you can see probably I look a little tired. Shekhar ji, I don't want to disappoint everybody. Let's just take one or two questions and then we'll wrap up. Two questions. There are quite a few questions. Shashank, thank you so much. Will DMK government collapse due to huge anti-incumbency and fresh assembly elections in 2024 will be conducted for TN?
Well, there may not be a collapse of the government, but the fact that its image is sinking, that has hit the first family and the senior ministers. They have realized the fact that ED succeeded in taking Senthil Balaji into custody, and they are worried what is going to happen. And because those custody will end from 8th to 12th, it would end on today. So they are not sure as to what will be the fallout of all this, because ED may press for further extension of the custody. That's one. Other two ministers are under investigation under the scanner. So this impression that the return of the DMK to power has meant the return of the old records, the old record making in this area by the DMK, that has people believe that this is come now. Because after all, that people feel that the whole thing is about, huge collections at every level. That image is there. Though Stalin is, attempting to show that, look, we are keen on implementing our promises from September onwards. They will be implementing that to 2,000 rupees that they promised to every women in the family, 1,000 or 2,000, whatever the amount that they had promised. So you can see that there is a pressure on Stalin now, and the fact that having put his future with the Congress, and particularly on Rahul Gandhi, and being the strongest supporter, and particularly, sir, this an issue of about Jayalalitha being ill-treated in Tamil Nadu under the DMK rule, and the DMK has the cheek to talk about this issue has put the DMK people in jittery, because this is again going to help the opposition to talk about the atrocities on women in Tamil Nadu. So when you are making a big deal about Manipur, you should look at your own state. So you can see that kind of tension. And in terms of tangibles, the government seems to be wanting. That is why there is a feeling, look, these Lok Sabha elections may be a game changer.
Very true, sir. Next question, please. Last one. Namaskaram, sir. INC's MP having started a similar campaign as in Karnataka with 50% commission Sarkar slogan. Is BJP prepared to counter this narrative, or will they let it go as they did in Karnataka?
No, sir. They have already. They are talking about all the issues have come to the fore in Madhya Pradesh, including Kamalnath's earlier allegations against him that he had some role in the 1984 riots. Though he has been stoutly saying that no commission of inquiry has ever found him guilty. And for Kamalnath, sir, this is like a kind of a personal battle. And there is some indication that I would say that fact that Jyotiraditya Scindia was the last speaker or the speaker who spoke just before the Prime Minister spoke the no confidence motion. I believe Jyotiraditya will get a very important role in the Madhya Pradesh election campaign. So one can see that, and similarly, they fielded Raghavendra Rathore, the leader from Rajasthan. And Rajavendra Rathore is a person who is not totally disliked by Vasundhara Raje compared to, say, Gajendra Singh Shekhawat. So you can see that there is some plans going on the way the BJP is going to tackle this. So in Madhya Pradesh particularly, one can say that with this Prime Minister going to Madhya Pradesh today, you're going to see more visits by him, more trips. So next few days is going to be a lot of, I would say, hardcore politics.
Yes, indeed. And now let us take some. Thank you so much, Shruti Chandak, for your generous donation. And Shekharji, I apologize that we couldn't go through the distance, but I think we covered all the topics. It's just that a couple of questions perhaps you could have taken, but unfortunately, I'm kind of getting a little tired, and I beg your forgiveness. And viewers, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to click on the bell button for notifications. Namaskar.